Hi, I'm Azriel, and today I'm going to share a few tips with you on how to do a coffee enema. From my experiences in figuring this out, I thought it'd be helpful to other people just starting off and at least even being interested in doing a coffee enema, just to feel a little bit more comfortable when their first time doing it. So there are several things you need to know. First of all is your equipment. You have your bucket, your stainless steel, and your tubing. And I know this is a lot of tubing. You can actually cut it once you figure out your layout, where your space is going to be. If this is too much tubing, you can cut it to suit your needs or preferences. You have your clasp right here, which you push into it and it'll seal off the tubing, and then you just give a pinch at the top and it'll come back out. This is your check valve. This is for when you're doing your enema and your solution or your water is going through. If you shift when you're laying down or something happens, you have a bodily function that gas that happens naturally, and you get some things that want to travel back up the tubing rather than going into you, it'll get trapped right here. It's not going to go back in through the tubing all the way into your bucket, so your bucket will stay clean and sterilized. You have your, let me take this off, your nozzle. And this is actually what you're going to insert, lubricated, of course. And this piece right here, this is recommended by Gerson. It's going to travel up further into your colon, so it gives you an even more in-depth cleaning. And it's also, it's smaller and it's movable, pliable, so it'll be more comfortable for you anyways, if you're a little bit concerned about putting anything in your butt. And then you have your, let's see, your plastic sheet, which when you lay down, it doesn't matter how many times you've done an enema, accidents happen, and it's always a good idea just to have something laid out. So definitely whatever surface you're laying on, like me, I use my yoga mat, so I want to make sure that that stays clean. It's just easily cleanable, and you can pack it back up and use it again later. And it's also a good idea to keep some paper towels next to you, or baby wipes if you have them handy, just in case you have a little bit of a leak or something on your mat. It's just convenient to have handy. And then you're going to, of course, need your lubricant for your nozzle. And for your comfort, you are going to want a blanket, because I do mine in the bathrooms, and it gets really cold in the bathroom when you're laying there on the floor for several minutes. So definitely want a blanket and a pillow, and then again I use my yoga mat just so I'm not laying down on the hard tile. So just make yourself really comfortable. So we've talked about all of your equipment, everything that you're going to need to perform your coffee enema, and then everything you're going to need to be comfortable. And now you need to know that it's so important for you to make sure that your house is calm and that your environment is just very peaceful, and you're not going to be interrupted by anything. When you do your enemas, I would suggest leaving your phone someplace else, turning it off so you don't hear it ring, and you're not going to be distracted with texting or emailing or anything like that. You just want to be comfortable, read a book, just do something that's very soothing, and it's not going to get you all wrapped up in everything that you do constantly throughout the whole rest of the day. So I forgot to tell you that when you're setting up for your water enema and your coffee enema, you want to make sure that your bucket is 12 to 18 inches off of the ground. The height in which you place it is going to determine the speed in which your water or the coffee solution travels through the tubing. So you have control. If you feel like things are just moving too fast and it makes you uncomfortable, then just lower your bucket and it'll slow everything down, and you have control over that. And my equipment, again, I got mine from purelifeenema.com, in case you're interested. And now I'm going to show you how to set up. You might want to put some nice, peaceful, soothing music on to enjoy. You're not just sitting there in silence. And then set up the rest of your area with everything that you're going to need to be comfortable. Okay, so again, nice music in the background, and get your mat out if you have one. Okay, so you have your yoga mat laid out, and on top of that, you're going to put your plastic sheet. And I would suggest, if this is your first time doing an enema, to do it in the bathroom. That way it's just more convenient for you. You know what to expect of it, and also of your from your body. So just when it's time for you to release everything, you're just already in the washroom to do it. But this is very nice and comfortable, and that's exactly what you want, is to be at ease. So when you're starting, again, you want to have your few, I would say a couple, but everybody's different and every time will be different. So you're going to need to do a few water enemas first. So you'll have all of your equipment set up. You'll have your 2 cups of water measured out and put in your bucket. Set up and ready to go. Your bucket, 12 to 18 inches up off the ground. When you're preparing either your nozzle or your colon tube, you want to make sure to first lubricate the entire thing. So if you're using the colon tube from this end to this end, the entire thing, lubricate it. And then the same with your nozzle if you choose to use your nozzle, which I do, the whole thing, just to make it easier to insert. For a higher enema, if you want to use the colon tube, you just attach to the nozzle. It's really easy, and this is going to go further up into your colon. This gives you a even more intense cleanse. When you're doing your water enema, you're going to be laying on your left side, and you've got your 2 cups of distilled water in your bucket all ready to go. Gerson recommends 4 cups. I can only hold 2. I think everybody's different. It's something you need to figure out what's best for you. So again, on your left, before you do that, you need to make sure that your tubing is set up correctly. When you, before you put your water in your bucket, you have to make sure that your clasp is sealed around your tube. That way there's nothing coming through, that you're not going to make a mess all over the floor. And then when you are ready to start your water enema, you want to release it, let out the air. That way the water is able to travel through the tubing. If there's air inside the tube before you insert it, it's not going to travel anywhere. So make sure that you let some of the water come out and then clasp it up again, and then lay down on your left. And if you can't hold the water in for the 10 minutes, whatever amount of time. When your body tells you it's time to let it go, then just go let it go. There's not, no one's gonna bang on your door. You didn't hold it the whole 10 minutes. So just take care of that however you feel you need to. And then after you've done your water enemas, however many that is, to make you completely cleaned out, you have to be completely cleaned out of any waste. Otherwise, when you go on to this next one, it's going to be very difficult for you to hold it in. So with your coffee enema, you're going to do the same exact setup. You're going to have your solution in your bucket. You're going to make sure that your nozzle is closed first before you put the solution in. I'm sorry, I probably should have switched that around for you, but pay attention. And then release to let some out and let all the air out, and then you can have a smooth flow through your tubing. With a coffee enema, you lay on your right side, and it's very important to try your best to hold it as long as you can. It's recommended 15 minutes. I can't last that long yet. I'm progressively working up to that, and that's okay. Everyone's different and everybody's body's different, and it's just, well, you'll find out. So you just want to be comfortable, especially with the coffee enema. If you feel like when you're doing it, your feet, you have to do this with your feet, or you feel like you have to clench or anything like that, it's normal. It's okay. It's a very natural response for your body to have. If it gets to the point to where you're very uncomfortable, you should stop and just go relieve yourself, and it's not a problem. Just whenever your body's telling you it's time, just go take care of it. I wanted to show you another position that you can use with your bucket that my auntie showed me. Oops. So again, on your side. And what she does is she holds it in her hand, and this is about, about 10 inches off of the ground. And this gives her complete control over the speed in which the water or the solution is going through the tubing. So if it's going through too fast, you just lower it, and just wherever it's comfortable for you. If you notice that there is air inside of your tubing, lower your bucket and tilt it towards you. That way the air is released through the bucket and not in through your tubing. Also, in this position, it's not really necessary to have this long length of tube, so if you want to cut it, go ahead. If this is a comfortable position for you, then just go ahead and cut your tubing and make it suitable for you and your needs. I forgot something very important. You need to have a cozy blanket to lay down with, especially if you're doing this in your bathroom. It gets very cold on the floor, so make sure that along with your mat, for support for your body and your support for your head, you make sure that you are very warm and comfortable. Bring a book to sit next to you, play some soothing music, and just really try to relax. That's pretty much it. I hope that you've been able to take some information away from here, and I hope that your first or next coffee enema goes very well and is an enjoyable experience.